time to talk about a good game that's coming up very soon. It's created right here in Vancouver, British Columbia. Please join me in welcoming the creative director of NHL 20 to the show, Will Ho. Come on up, my friend. It's good to see you.
Hey.
You're dry.
Good to see you, Vic.
Good to see you, too. You got dry. You managed to get dry.
Yeah.
Yes?
Good thing I bought a new pair of pants this afternoon.
How's the framing? Is he good? He's good right there? Okay, good.
All right.
Move my mic a bit closer and Will's mic a
Okay.
bit closer. Thank you, Blake.
Eat this thing.
Thank you. Okay, so I have the game. I have it right here, and I'm going to give you a controller right here.
Right on.
And hopefully
Yeah.
this doesn't change.
There we
Okay,
go.
you're going to drive in the game, and I think what we want to do. Let's talk about you for a quick second, because I've known you in a bunch of different roles over the
That's
years.
right.
Did we first meet when you were at United Front?
I think we first met when I was at Black Box.
At Black Box, that's right.
Yeah, we might have talked a bit of Need for Speed way back when on the PS1.
That's amazing.
In those days. PS1,
So-
PS2, I don't know.
So you
all
started,
blur.
was that one of your first game jobs?
I actually started at Radical Entertainment. I started
Nice.
doing sports games at Radical back then.
Right on.
And
Hockey?
it was hockey, bit of basketball. Funny, back then, I don't know if you know this trivia, but we were working on a line of sports games.
Yes.
That was my first gig, was designing a hockey game and sports games, and we were working on a line of sports games that was going to take down EA Sports.
With ESPN.
Yeah,
And you guys were
guess how that turned out. But we're happy to be part of EA Sports now. It was amazing. We were young and wild and thought we were gonna take over the world.
It was anybody's game back then.
It was.
There
It
were
was
lots,
wide open.
Yeah, there were lots of different studios making lots of different versions of hockey.
There was
and
one year
baseball
when there
and
were, I think,
basketball.
5 major console hockey games one year, right? It was just completely wide open.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I know that you've got a lot of colleagues that worked at Radical that you're probably working with now on NHL.
That's
and I know
right.
that happened, right? There was a little bit of a splinter off of EA and went to try
Yeah.
things out with Radical, and then you'd go back to EA.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, it's such a small town, and a lot of people who have worked together at so many different studios, right?
Yeah.
So whether it was Radical, to EA, and then a number of those guys, went off to form Black Box and Next Level Games.
Yes.
And then a lot of those people worked together again, at EA, and so it's been a big swirl of sort of the same people working together over and over again, but. What's amazing about that is the chemistry that we've developed, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like we have our own language, or we have that simpatico, and that it's very, very easy, even years on, to work with the same people and over and over again.
Well, and I don't know, and you can tell me this, if developers that are entering into the field now will have this diversity in their lineup. Like, you've been very fortunate to jump from interesting project to
absolutely,
interesting
yeah.
project, and Mod Nation Racers is a very different game
Yeah.
from NHL 20, and you worked on Need for Speed in Stockholm or in
Gothenburg,
Yeah.
Sweden,
Yeah.
And what's amazing is some of the people who worked on great karting games at United Front Games are also guys who made great sports games at EA and Radical and at Next Level, right? So
Do you think a new developer is going to be able to do that, or are they going to be kind of, if they love hockey, which presumably you get
Yeah.
resumes every day for people that want to just join your like they'll end up working on hockey because these games are so big now.
yeah,
right?
I mean, we had a recent graduate right here at VFS, and
Yeah.
he was up on stage presenting his game, and I think it was a fighting game, and then he was up on stage declaring that he wanted to work on hockey, right? So I just had to meet that fellow, and who knows, we might have a role for him coming up. But it's amazing that there is this diversity of games and diversity of platforms and diversity of game engines that these new kids, they're finding their own way.
Yeah.
Right. It's not as easy as before, when you just know someone, or my brother works for this video game company and you're in.
Yeah.
Right. You have to have the chops. You have to have the passion. You have to have to prove that you can work on a team.
Yeah.
You have to prove that you have that commitment to quality and really see your game through to final. But these kids have never known a world where they weren't able to make games.
Right.
Right. So I
Yeah.
think that's going to carry this new generation of game developers through.
You are part of the generation that was helping to define the language of games.
We had no idea that we could, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
dreamed when I was a kid that I would make video games. I was programming on my Atari computer. I'd make racing games on my Atari computer in my bedroom, right?
Awesome.
And then it didn't seem like a viable option when I was growing up in Calgary, right? Like my parents always said, well, you have to do like the normal things, right? And then I sort of went and did some of the more air quote normal things, but then I just learned through university that it was an option.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go into a completely different industry. I was going to go into journalism. I might actually have been
Oh,
a
wow.
colleague of yours.
You could have been on EP.
in an alternate timeline.
Yeah, yeah. You
But
would've been
then a
great.
buddy of mine said, "Hey, we're starting up this QA team at Radical Entertainment at the time," and then I jumped on board, and then worked in QA, learned a ton about various different game genres because they were doing sports, they're doing an independence game. They they did a game called Grid Runner, which is futuristic
Yep,
tag.
that's the
They're
Invershares
doing
game, right?
a Metroid-like game,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
So-
yes, I remember that
So
game. Oh,
being
The
able
Divide, yeah.
to meet lots of different people working on lots of different genres of games, it was almost like a crash course in game development.
Right.
Right. And then I came in through sports because I grew up playing HLPA 93 and HL 94 with my buddies and so on and so forth, and that was sort of my first dream job come true.
Was EA a part of that dream job? You've been there in different sort of fits and starts over the years for a long time now, right?
Yes, I mean certainly at that time, we at Radical, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, like we were going to take down the behemoth, right? We wanted to beat them, right? We didn't want to be them; we wanted to beat them.
Dude, I remember when
Right.
the San Francisco offices were paid for and
That's
the chairs
right.
were bought. And,
We're
and this
making a
big
baseball
team-
game.
Yeah.
We're making a NASCAR game. We're making a football game.
Oh,
yeah.
man. I just interviewed Joe Nichols at,
That's right,
at
yeah.
XDS 19, the External Development Summit, and we talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
And then ESPN pulled out.
That's right,
In the
yeah.
middle of a trade, middle of E3, was it?
It was really sudden. Right? We were just, guns blazing every day, just trying to make 6 different sports games
Unreal.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right. And we didn't know better, right?
No.
We thought that we were honestly going to take over the world
Yeah.
with that line of sports games.
Yes.
But what's amazing about every so-called failure is what you learn from it.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
You learn that, all right, failure doesn't mean the end of the line. It
Yeah.
means like you carry that experience through.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and then Radical went on to make lots of incredible games.
That's right. They took a different path,
Yep.
making those great action games like Hulk and Prototype.
Yep.
And
Simpsons
Hit
Hit
and
and Run.
Run.
Yep.
So,
And then the Wilkinson brothers, one of them went to EA, Kevin.
he was at EA for quite a long time on
Yeah.
the EA Sports games, and then Ian, I think still is at Hothead. Right?
Hothead
They're doing
Games.
a great job down the road there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's amazing. You came in on hockey, and you've been on hockey again for the last few years. How has it changed, and what's the same?
I think, when I dreamed of working on hockey, way back when, like it was pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone who played those classic hockey games fooled themselves into thinking it was a simulation.
Yeah.
Right? It was just a great game that you could play with your buddies on the couch.
Yes.
Right? We just had fun, and all the players and all the teams were sort of caricatured versions of their real life counterparts.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But now, that the consoles are so much more powerful. Now that there is, a mode that caters to every different hockey fantasy. Right? You can play completely sim hockey.
Yep.
You can play in an arcade-inspired experience like Threes. Right? You can play pond hockey in Ones. You can play EA Sports Hockey League and have your own virtual beer league team. There's so many different ways to enjoy hockey that it's really tough pinpointing who is a fan of EA Sports NHL.
Right.
It's all of those and
Right,
more.
right.
Right. There are people who love being a GM. There are people who love every different way to play hockey. And so I think that's the challenge now. Is it used to be that everyone just pointed to that one game. Hey, just make that game.
Yeah.
But now everyone points to a slightly different game. And
I'm curious if you guys have done statistics on the return player that started with the 90s Sega Genesis NHL games and has stayed with it, and maybe aren't even a
Yeah.
fan of hockey, but they just like the real sport, but they just like the video game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who played, let's say, NHL 94 and learned the stars like Denny Savard and Jeremy Roenick and Wayne Gretzky, at that time, they just wanted a fun game,
Yeah.
right? And now we deliver a fun game, and we do something that's authentic to NHL hockey. But then, people can come in for other motivations, right? To create their own custom player, to carve their own type of career that is like no other player. And so it's really tricky to manage this. We hear it from all these different kinds
You've
of
got
fans
a lot of
all
people
the
to keep
time.
happy, don't you? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we just chip away at that, right? I mean, you look at the screen here, we've got tons of different modes
Dude,
here.
I was playing it today, and I played it in your office a couple of weeks ago, and I can't keep still, and I can't not play it without screaming. I'm alone, and I'm going, whoa, which is a good sign that it's always fun
Yeah,
to play the game. But what it looks like to me is like this is the zenith of this gen with hockey. Like
Yeah.
there's a couple things that I noticed. The reflections off of the visors and the eyes, the piercing eyes of players from underneath those masks, and it just looks so close to photoreal already. But also in the stands on replays, you don't have dead-eyed, dull-eyed fans now.
Yeah.
You have them looking in different directions, and it's
That's
so
right.
when it freezes.
There's a wide range of emotions
It's
and
really
intensities,
cool, yeah.
right? That match up with what's happening on the ice. If it's a home crowd, if it's an away crowd, right, or a home goal or an away goal, I should say, right?
Yeah.
The crowd reacts differently.
That's amazing.
And who would have thought, 20 plus years ago that we would have that kind of fidelity, right? We're actually drawing 18,000 fans in the stands, right? They're not cardboard cutouts. They're actually 3D humans.
Is it maddening, or is it just part of the process? Is it like you guys are making a hockey game, but then you've got a team devoted to to making sweaters and scarves on these people?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, like, why can't you just make gameplay great? And we do have a great gameplay team making the gameplay great, but then we have other people in other disciplines who are making the rinks look great. They're making the lighting look great.
Yes.
They're making the player likeness is fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? All the presentation layer, right? The commentary and the motion graphics, right? They're making that great. All the online support, right? The servers, the matchmaking. There's so many more disciplines involved these days that I think some people who are really core fans go, well, why don't you just make all those people work on gameplay? I'm like, well, that's not the way games are now.
No, I mean, we're approaching, and I really want to talk to you sort of hypothetically about what next gen could mean for sports games. I've been saying this for years. I feel like the more photoreal that sports games get, the more mainstream that video games will be. Because when people cannot make a really quick, sort of, they can't discern from the video game and the reality, people are going to be like, oh my God, I've got to start playing more video games because they look so incredible. And I feel like with every iteration of hardware, we're getting closer and closer to that.
And I would actually argue that just trying to look photorealistic isn't the end game anymore.
No.
Right? Because we know that with the right
better.
tech and with the right craft, they're going to look just like television, right?
Yeah.
But really, the step beyond for next gen is how do you express yourself? How do you empower players to make their own choices? Whether it's through likenesses, whether it's through their actions on the ice,
Right.
The types of scenarios they play, right? And really empowering players to choose exactly what experience they want.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go picture in picture, Blake, and take us in. And guys, I want to get your questions. If you've got questions for Will, this is your time. I know there's a lot of NHL diehards out there that are watching this live. So just do me a favor. I got one right here. Sam, I am 111. Will the Winter Classic return in NHL 20, and what about the Heritage Classic making the cut?
Yeah, I mean, we look at those authentic NHL events that happen every year, and we have to kind of be careful because we're not the hugest team, right? We have a lot of passionate hockey fans on our team, but we also
I'm going to stop you for a second. And that must be tough for you guys every year because FIFA's got all the money and it's got the story
mode. They sell a few more copies than we do.
And Madden's making tons of money, and they got the story mode and all the actors, and you guys just hustle to make a fun
They
game.
get at least $1,000 or $2,000 more in their budget to work with. So when we look at events that are kind of one-offs, or where we would have to make something like Fenway Park, right, and it only happens once in the calendar, and it's really hard for us to recreate those one-off venues. But we look at the spirit of a Heritage Classic, a Winter Classic, and go, well, what makes it fun? It's the thrill of playing in a venue that's not an NHL arena, right? That's outdoors, that has that crispness, that has the snow falling, that has that gorgeous lighting, that has crowds that are out there because of the sheer joy, not because they're corporate season ticket holders. Right? Those are the kinds of vibes that we create in our outdoor rinks in modes for modes like 1s and 3s and Eashel that you can just play in these great places like a farm or even at a mountaintop, or we have a new venue called the Canal. Right, this is something that
like
people
the Rideau,
like the Rideau Canal in Ottawa, right, the world's largest skating rink, and those aren't the ones that isn't the place that people are writing lots of letters in, but when they see it, they're going to go, aha, I've always wanted to play hockey there. And they're going to play there over and over and over again. That
is wonderful. Okay, so why don't you take us in, and we'll get to all of your questions, trust me, but you take us into some of your favorite modes on the game.
So something
we're tiny, tiny little box right there.
All right,
us.
hey, that's me. It's a little
two little mice versions of us right now. Okay.
So one thing I want to say, we do have all of the modes that all of our fans have grown to love. We've added a couple of new modes this year. We've added an offline version of Ones. People loved Ones online last year. It was the 1v1v1 free-for-all pond hockey. Now we have a local multiplayer version, which I think we'll fire up in a minute here. Also, we've added some depth to World of Chell. That was our online multiplayer ecosystem that we introduced last year that had ones and threes and EA Sports Hockey League. We've intensified ones and threes by introducing new modes called Eliminator, which is basically inspired by Battle Royale.
Right.
But you don't land on an island and shoot each other until there's a last man standing. That's not how it works. But we take inspiration from these modes where you can just sort of jump in with tons of other players online, and then basically you play until there is one player left standing.
That's
right?
awesome.
And you just have to string together 3 wins in a row or 4 wins in a row, and there's the intensity of when you're knocked out, you have to go back to round 1.
You guys could have done a total crossover with Goon or Slapstick and Battle Royale.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe there are opportunities there.
There you go.
Yeah,
Next year.
You should join our team.
Yeah.
You're an idea factory. Also in franchise mode, we've added coaches that you can hire and fire.
Yeah.
So for those people who love being that armchair GM, right? Last year we added scouts, and this year you have 7 different coaching positions in your organization. You can choose from over 200 fictional coaches.
Yep.
We like to be diverse and inclusive, and so we have people from different nationalities. We also have female coaches.
Do you have the real coaches too?
We don't have real coaches this year. We wanted to go for maximum choice and
Okay.
maximum diversity. So,
Right.
Let's say you're a progressive GM and you want to have a staff full of female coaches. You can actually do that in our franchise mode
What
this year.
makes a choice like that? Because you guys don't make these big sort of shifts without looking at the data. Did you sort of talk with players and say, do you mind if we pull the real NHL coaches out of the
Yeah,
experience?
I mean, it's something that we considered, but that idea wasn't ready for prime time.
Okay.
So if we can't have the real coaches, what is the next best thing? And,
Gotcha.
right, we look at what is best for gameplay.
Right.
Right. So to give our players maximum choice, we came up with over 200 fictional coaches for you to choose from.
Awesome.
That doesn't close the door on licensed coaches, but they aren't sort of automatic like the NHL Players Association, where hey, you play a game in the NHL, you're part of this association, part of this union,
Yeah.
and then they come en masse to EA Sports NHL.
Right.
The coaches don't have that kind of arrangement, so we talk to them and we see, but right now we think our players will like the choice of fictional coaches that they have.
Awesome. The game, is it in early access right now?
It is in early access.
So you're getting feedback right now.
That's right. It's been in the wild since last Wednesday nights.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been getting lots of feedback from those early access players. It's always great to jump in and also play with some of these
Sure.
people in the wild.
Yeah.
Right. We test the game like so much in the office, but being able to play with players who are most dedicated fans, right?
Yeah,
The people
yeah.
willing to go in there right away and play their 10 hours in early access. But then premium deluxe edition buyers, I should say,
Yep.
they'll get to go online today, tomorrow, and then worldwide launch on Friday. But it's always a thrill in the office. It's a little bit nail biting, right? Because anything can happen out there in TV land, right?
Yeah, yes.
But this launch was very, very smooth. We saw very, very few issues in early access.
Well, one thing that I liked about our conversation about it, and even the video that you guys put out, the gameplay video, is that you directly referenced the last game, and you directly referenced, without throwing it under the bus, because I always say that I hate that with sports game interviews. It's like, well, your last game didn't suck. You don't have to talk about it like it was total garbage and you made every wrong decision. You didn't do that with this. You
That's
said
right.
you did a lot of good things with NHL 19, the RPM skating mechanics.
We know that there's always so much that we can improve upon, right? It's
Yeah.
because we listen to our fans. It's
Yep.
because we're passionate about the game ourselves. We play the game, right?
Yeah.
We have ESHL clubs on our team, and we play,
Yep.
right? And so when players show us sort of bloopers, right, of shots that don't connect, right, and it happens over and over again.
Yeah.
Let's look that in the eye and go, okay, NHL 19's shooting was not as good as we could have made it.
Yes.
So NHL 20, we've revamped all of the shooting in the game.
Right.
Right, with literally hundreds of new shooting animations for every context. And so, every time you attempt a one-timer, every time you make that pass into the slot,
Yep.
we're going to select the best shot for your players.
Do you guys ever get feedback that just cuts deep? Does
Oh, yeah,
Does
yeah.
it? Yeah, and
I mean,
you got to carry that around for
It's because the team cares so much, right?
Well,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, we've had Rammer on the show a ton, and I've tweeted at him, congratulations, or when I've reviewed the games or whatever. And then in my feed, I get a whole bunch of
Yeah.
angry NHL fans. It seems like they're the first ones to jump on and voice their opinion.
But we're always logging feedback. We've always got this running backlog of things that we want to improve and we want to polish more.
Yeah.
Something that we always try to preserve is gameplay balance,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because our fans will play literally hundreds of games
Yes.
in a season,
Yes.
right? And they don't want that balance, to go out the window. They don't want players to find a loophole or an exploit that we don't actually attempt to fix.
Yeah.
Right? And especially now that we're getting into events like the Gaming World Championships, right? Players are playing from day one at launch, hoping to become that player who goes to Vegas and wins 50 grand and gets a check from Gary Bettman.
Well, and honestly, NHL has always been a consistently enjoyable game to watch. I can't think of I love NBA, and the Visual Concepts guys have been doing an incredible job with the 2K franchise. But NHL also has that super accessibility,
Yeah.
and it's just so fast, and
Yeah.
the hits are big, and there's a bit of like. It's so dangerous, like just the idea of cruising that fast on skates and sticks flying around. It just looks like
I think a lot
of people
people
could get hurt.
who watch hockey, NHL hockey on TV, they have no idea until they actually go to a game.
Yeah.
Just how fast the game, how tough the players are,
Yep.
how a guy can get just leveled and then 2 seconds later he'll be up and skating at full speed again, right? So that's the kind of athleticism, that kind of toughness that we recreate in EA Sports NHL. And so I think, this year with all of the gameplay improvements, I think we're even closer to that feeling of being there, of that flow of the game, how every player is involved in the play at all times.
Yep.
I think people who pick up NHL 20 are really going to see and feel that difference in game speed.
Awesome. We've been on the option mode here, the mode selection mode for a long time.
Let's look at the game.
Play the game, and everybody's going to judge your skills because you're one of the guys that made the game. But I'll get some of the questions, and if you guys have any questions for Will, just shut them out right here. But Jamie Andrews has one. So how you doing, Jamie? Says, how does one team keep creating these amazing games ready for every September? That is the question, right? How do you guys get the fortitude?
Like Jim Poplinski used to say on the Flames broadcast, we have stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
How many? It's not easy for us to release every September like clockwork. Sorry, I'm just going to pick Connor McDavid because I'll admit on air, I'm an Oilers fan, diehard Oilers fan.
Yeah.
We have a diehard Oilers fan here in the audience here.
Nice, Jason.
So we're going to represent here.
Very
but,
cool.
I think it is that sort of experience of the team,
Yep.
knowing that we have to deliver a quality experience and that we're almost calibrated to that cadence
Okay.
of every 12 months, every September, we've got to deliver a game that our fans are going to love. And so there's a lot of priority setting. There's a lot of early play testing, right, to make sure that we're dialing in our gameplay, our balance, our controls, our physics. That happens usually sometime in the winter where we'll play the new game and it quickly eclipses the old game.
Yeah.
Right? And, I play back and forth all the time. So this last cycle, I was playing 19 and 20 and going back and forth. And there was a tipping point in the winter where I can't play 19 anymore.
Yeah, cool. That's
Right?
what you want.
Yeah,
and that's what you want
the
from your...
velocity we want, right? To make sure that we're polishing the game right
Yeah.
through to the summer, through to launch in September. So I'm showing you ones now here, and this is our outdoor pond hockey experience that was introduced in NHL 19. But
This is your cover boy here
that's our cover boy, Austin Matthews.
Yep.
Yeah.
in street clothes.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Shell.
Yeah, you don't often see NHL stars playing in casual gear, but
Right.
because this is a more of a casual mode, pick up and play, we really wanted to lower the barrier of entry to this mode. So instead of your own created player, you're playing as NHL stars, alumni, and sorry,
Oh, I'm in the way. I have a large noggin.
I wasn't going to
not
say it
invisible.
myself. I'm a gracious guest.
Okay, all right. Question from Sam I Am 111. How was the decision to use actors for the commentary over real announcers made this year?
Yeah, that's a really good question because our commentators this year, James Cybulski and Ray Ferraro, are amazing. That's one thing, but they are not actors. They are bona fide sports broadcasters.
All right, we're clarifying that right here.
Ray Ferraro was in our commentary team before. He was sort of the third man between the benches.
Yep.
Now he is promoted to full-on color commentary. And then James Cybulski, who is our new play-by-play man, he is, don't know where you're asking the question from, but he is actually on Sports Talk Radio here in Vancouver every single morning.
I don't know where Sam I Am 111 is, but he
Yeah.
always has the good questions. Adrian Leon, does it still have the Canadian Hockey League in the game?
Yes, you
Yep.
can still go in to be a pro and start in the CHL. You can play through a CHL season, or you can just start with the Memorial Cup and then try to get drafted after that.
Okay.
So CHL still here.
Awesome. You can take this question back to or this comment back to Rammer. NHL 2006 on was clearly made by a Montreal fan. The virtual team was a million times better than the real thing.
Yeah, no
Rick
comment.
Savage
No
with a savage
comment.
comment right there.
No comment from me. Before my time.
Okay, Silver Arouz. I hope I'm saying that right. Arouz. Will Retro Mode ever come back, and will we ever get an NHL 94 port included with a special edition? We
no.
had that before, right? On the
There was
20th
a
edition.
20th anniversary
Yep.
of NHL 94 mode.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. When's the next anniversary coming up? Well, we'll see.
25, right?
25 could
Are
be.
we past
I don't
it?
know.
Yeah,
I
25
don't
would be
know.
the next one. What an amazing! I have like, you don't know, like NHL on the Genesis. I had roommates. I talked about this in my Sega thing. I lived with 6 other
Yeah.
people, and we played Sega Genesis NHL hockey like
It was
crazy.
kind of a system seller back then, hey?
Amazing,
like, people
man.
just wanted to play hockey.
It's so important to games, the history of this game. Another one from Sam I Am 111 with a focus on customization in NHL 20. When will we see a EA Game Face become compatible with NHL? That's a great question.
That is a really good question.
Sam I Am.
We have looked at GameFace, and it hasn't really been right for NHL for a number of technical reasons.
Yeah.
We don't want to ship something that is not the right quality for our fans, and so it's something we'll continue to look at, but nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Lost.
Rick Savage with another Savage. NHL 2K15 was too easy. The goalie could be easily fooled by skating scores every time. Okay. Got that one. I played both Hulk and Ultimate Destruction. Oh, we're talking about some
a
radical
little
stuff in
yeah,
there.
Vancouver video game history there.
We got a Wayne is bleeding from the head comment. I think that's
From
slap-
Swingers, I believe.
Oh, from Swingers?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes. Amazing movie, right. Some classic NHL stuff in there. What do we got here? NHL 94. Oh, question. How do you keep the game fresh every year? What is the creative process?
You know, I think what's really helped in recent years is we've really tried to embrace a broader definition of hockey.
Yeah.
And it used to be before, hey, it's just the NHL, right? Hey, it's on the front cover, NHL, that's all we ever do. But, in recent years, by expanding the definition to include arcade-inspired hockey, right?
Yeah.
Playing as mascots, playing pond hockey, 1v1v1, no rules. Having the customization, the casual gear, right? The lifestyle gear, and really finding different ways that, are legitimately hockey, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone makes it to the NHL. People are playing hockey right now somewhere in some place wearing whatever they want, right? With whatever rules they want.
And I've seen that evolution across the sports games. It's not just so much about reliving the league moments.
Yeah.
It's about sort of getting into the philosophy and the spirit of the sport and sort of
Yeah.
showing the joy of it all.
I think there's the love of the sport, right,
Yeah.
which can be embodied by the NHL, but then there's the love of the game,
Right.
which includes so much more than just the NHL.
I'm grabbing a controller. Let's play.
All right. I'm going to represent my hometown team,
Okay.
the Blue and Orange. Oh, we have a question here.
Oh, yes. Warco.
Did the design of NHL 20 did game streaming, like the popularity of Twitch, did that come into like what you wanted to emphasize with any of the modes?
Yeah, the question is about game streaming, and did that factor into NHL 20? Absolutely, because some of our most devout fans, they are streaming, right? They stream constantly. There's players like Nasher and Tactics, and a guy named Chad with a J. They're constantly streaming their gameplay. And so we designed, in particular, the new presentation package to be higher energy and more in your face and more suited to streaming, whether it's on Twitch or if it's using, the first party, Sony and Microsoft streaming services like Mixer. But we really want, our game to be more, sort of accessible, right? Not everyone knows exactly what is going on if you happen to stumble upon one of these streams. And so you're going to see, when we get into play now here, you're going to see the new commentary, you're going to hear the new commentary and see the new presentation package that we designed specifically for streaming.
And Chell is not a phrase that you guys invented.
Chill is what the kids say.
Yeah.
It's like, let's chill, Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about the game, though.
Yeah, it's NHL.
Yeah.
Right? And it's specifically about playing with their buddies in EA Sports NHL.
Which is amazing.
So we embrace that.
That must
right?
feel incredible.
It is. It's kinda cool.
Is it all across the world? Is it more specific to Canada? Or
Yeah, that's a good question. It comes from all over the place, but
Yeah.
I was blown away just recently when someone in real life said chill to me. I'm like, wow.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
And so you've embraced it, and so World of Chell is all about sort of
Yeah, it's all
creating
about
the-
playing with your friends.
Right.
Yeah, it's all about that camaraderie of practicing together, forming a club together,
Cool.
competing against the best in the world, and just dominating together.
Okay. So I'm Vancouver.
All right, I'm Edmonton.
I'm going to try to remember the controls, and I'm going to do my best.
I will level you.
Oh,
And
you
you.
did? Oh.
No mercy, Vic. My team has missed the playoffs 12 of the last 13 years.
Oh my God! Really?
So we are out for blood.
And the Canucks keep getting in there, but not doing so well.
Have a good core. Have a
Yeah.
good- oh, Besser's out.
Oh my God! You killed
Sorry.
my dude, man. All right, payback.
All right, here we go. Ooh.
Come on.
David looking.
Oh!
At the post.
Oh! Look at you with the cross passes. That's amazing. Oh! Oh,
Here we go.
nice. Good D.
Oh, McDavid runs into a wall. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This looks good.
Oh my God! This brings back a lot of memories. See, when I review these games, I play online, but I don't have that couch co-op thing now, and I miss it, or that couch competitiveness.
Yeah, I think people are going to love, Play Now is still one of our most played modes because, you can just get together with your buddies and play on the couch, and then, adding ones now is just going to expand that.
I love it. You just keep talking because I'm trying to concentrate here.
What's the spread here? What spread am I trying to beat?
Was that offside? Nice.
Was
Got a
offside.
question here from, is it possible, from Jordan Cunningham, is it possible to have special 3 versus 3 team games like zombies versus robots in NHL hits? Did you work on hits?
That is funny. I did work on hits.
Yeah, I
So
bet
I've
you
worked
did.
on hockey games at a few different places, but we do have some special stuff
Cool.
not announced yet, but hopefully something like that will surface in NHL 20 during the year.
A little Plants versus Zombies mode?
I can't say.
Nice. Big ol'. Oh. Laid up.
Sam Gagner, former Canuck.
No.
Oh!
Nice.
So that was a neat shot because my
See,
pass
look at-
was a little bit off, and he didn't get all of his power on that shot.
And you see, when people aren't looking direct, they're not looking right at the camera, right? They're looking all over the place.
Yeah, they're
It's
actually
so-
following the action.
It's so cool. It blows me away. All right. I haven't got the face-offs down.
Got to wait for the ref to drop the puck.
Yes, I know.
Oh, the pride of Surrey, Jujhar Khaira.
I got you.
Khaira, make me proud.
No.
I live in Surrey.
Oh! Oh, yes.
Trying to represent.
I fouled you. Or not fouled. I got a penalty. I'm thinking of basketball. Let's see. We got EDM defense is better than their offense. Come on. Come on. Really? EA, it's like you're not even trying. This is from Leaf Fan B. Question, would it be possible to get Hockey Legends mode where you can choose from a wide array of Hall of Famers? This is from
Good
G-Rock Moves.
question. We kind of already have that.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we did introduce alumni players. This year we have.
No!
Oh!
Yes,
This
keep
year we have
talking, keep talking,
33.
you keep missing.
New alumni teams, including just about every team in the league right now. Vegas doesn't have one because obviously they've only been around for 2 years.
Yeah.
But we've got the classic Nordiques team. We've got the Whalers. We've got
Oh,
Hartford. But 33
Oh,
new
you
alumni
leveled
teams
me,
that you can
man.
play and play now. They're just so much fun
Nice.
to play.
did you actually snag that? Did you switch players and grab that, or was that the?
I did.
Amazing.
I know.
You know what's
Oh no!
You can watch all 5 of these players on the ice at the same time. I'm sort of like a dog chasing the ball right now.
Oh no! I gave it up.
Oh!
A stick lift there. Oh!
Totally tripped you.
Drew another penalty. Oops. Vic is gooning it.
Oopsies! Is the announcer's echo in game or from the stream? Is it from the stream? Oh, it's probably from. We're in a live setting here at the VFS Cafe. If you're just joining a Pixel Abode, so we have it echoed into the room so people can hear us as we're playing, and then mics are picking it up as well. So it's probably what you're hearing. Yeah. Somewhat unavoidable in a live venue type setting like this. Okay, come on. Oh, yes. Oh,
There we go.
Oh, you've got the power play goal. I loved your work on Mod Nation Racers, William. This
Oh,
is from
thanks.
Jamie. Best racing game on the PS3. When you think
Thank you.
about that game, don't you think that now is the perfect time to kind of bring it back on this hardware?
You know, write your emails and love letters to Sony.
I know, right?
Yeah, that was another game which was, I've been talking about teams where, people just have that simpatico rapport, that passion for the game.
Yes.
That was another one where the entire team just rallied around the vision and just put their hearts and souls into that game.
and
Yeah,
I always
love Mod
thought-
Nation Racers.
I mean, UFG was a very special company. That and Sleeping Dogs were your two
Yeah.
launch games. Pretty hard to make an open world action game and a kart racing game that
Well, we did
competes
it.
with the
We
best
did it.
as your first titles, and you did it. Incredible.
Yeah, those are great times. Really great people we worked with at United Front
Totally.
Games.
Yeah, I always think of what the PS4 hardware could do with Mod Nation, man. Because it was, oh, look at you, show off.
Little dangle there.
It was,
That's the pride of Surrey, BC. Jujar Kara, right there.
the last hockey game I played was that awful Stanley Cup game on the Super Nintendo. This is from Abby Jameson.
Oh,
She
yeah.
says, this looks much better.
This
I
one,
hope so.
This one will not make you lose your lunch like that one. The Mode 7 rotation on the ice was a bit much. Yeah.
You started on PS1 that era, or did you do any cartridge games?
Yeah, PS1. That was where I started. PS1 and Saturn.
Crazy.
Yeah, good times.
Awesome. Okay, here we go. You guys also changed the information on the game.
That's right.
too,
We changed the score clock. We decided to free up all that screen real estate at the top left-hand corner and went, hey, gameplay deserves that real estate. So we put the score clock at the bottom.
Changing from the way.
Oh,
Look
so
at you.
and you're gonna see on this goal that we have this nice big goal banner that's keyed in with the team liveries.
Right.
We've got the
You
nice
just
big
wanted to show
headshots.
that.
I
wanted to make
did,
sure we
right
could
on
show
cue,
that
right
off.
on cue.
Yeah, it was important
Yeah, you're right on script.
for this demo that.
Also, when you're playing with your custom teams in EA Sports Hockey League, whatever colors you choose, the overlays adopt your team colors.
Awesome. Another one from Sam I Am 111. What element from other hockey games you've worked on would you most like to bring into? Look, this guy is most like to bring into the EA NHL games. Awesome question.
That is a really good question.
He's just showing off with his good questions. Making me look bad, Sam. I Am 111.
I might get in trouble for this, but I really want to see a PC version.
Yeah.
I love the renaissance in PC gaming, so we
Totally.
talk about a PC version. It's going to happen when the right time comes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you totally should be making a PC game. I actually emailed Don Matrick one year and asking him why SSX wasn't on the PC.
Oh yeah, good
You
question.
know, like there were these games that were just so phenomenal in the console, but the PC could have benefited from
Double
because there
hit
was
there.
nothing like it.
Yeah, that untapped snowboarding PC market.
Yeah.
I've never seen a double hit like the one you let me do on your players.
Yeah, it was all
It's,
scripted.
that's the
Get
great thing
it!
about hockey is I always see something new. Thanks, Vic.
Oh.
Oh, look at this.
The computer was
Oh,
much
I
easier to
hesitated.
score on, by the way. Oh, I kept passing it away. Oh. Oh, I'm sweating here.
I know. It's
What is it?
intense.
Was that the first period?
I'm all about the Oilers trivia.
Okay.
Oscar Klefbom. When I lived in Sweden,
Yeah.
my next door neighbor was Oscar Klefbom's cousin.
No way.
Yeah.
Hockey was following
Small
you
world.
wherever
Small
you were.
world.
Was that the siren call? Were you waiting for hockey to pull you back?
You know, I loved my time working at Ghost Games on
Yeah.
Need for Speed. You know, I'm just blessed to have been able to work on racing games and hockey games. But you know, I was away from the woman I loved, and I had to come back to Canada for her.
Oh, and EA
Yeah.
worked with you on that, made that
Yeah.
happen. That's
Yeah.
pretty rad. That's awesome. So how long has this stretch now been with EA?
So I came back from Sweden to Canada about 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
But
came
you
back
were-
for Angel 19 and then now 20. Yeah.
Well, Sweden was also EA though.
That's
Ghost
right.
Games,
Yeah, because EA has so many studios around the world.
Yeah.
23, 24. I don't know. I've lost count.
So did you go right to Ghost Games after UFG? Was that the first place that you went to? Or?
Yeah. I dabbled in a few other things. Tried my hand at kids games for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, a little palate cleanser there. But then, you know, the chance to go back to work on Need for Speed was just, you know, couldn't resist it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've got a new one coming out this year. Did you
That's
work
right.
on that at all?
Need for Speed Heats. Nope, I didn't work
No,
on that.
okay.
I can take no credit
Okay.
for how awesome it looks.
But all your buds are over
Really
there.
cheering for that team and the great job they've done on it.
Yeah, they've done some beautiful work. We just need to see that full-fledged,
I think so, yeah.
defining game from
I
that
think it's
studio.
reminding a lot of long-term NFS fans
Yeah.
of their favorite titles from you know that franchise's storied history.
Which you worked on here.
Yes, some of it. Some of it.
Did you do Hot Pursuit on the PlayStation 1?
Hot Pursuit 2?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Amazing.
did that one on PS2.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible game.
For a while, the highest rated Need for Speed. For a while.
Sam I Am 111 also says the Switch needs this game.
Oh.
The Switch needs a hockey game.
Yeah,
in
we
a bad way.
we talk about that too, and you know we'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned. I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah. Oh,
There's Jujhar Khaira again.
even though I'm terrible at this,
Oh,
I
coughed it
feel
up.
like I'm in control. You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's what we're going after.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Sloppy icing. Sloppy icing.
Can you give us a tease of what happens with next gen? Not to slight this in any way.
Yeah.
This is beautiful work, but what happens? How does it improve? What does it look
There's so much up in the air right now. You know, we're just starting to wrap our heads around it. You know, we've got some ideas. Mm-hmm. You know, I think something I alluded to earlier is how can we let people have their personal experience right, whenever they want it. That's something that I think next gen is probably going to facilitate. Right, greater power, more storage. Always connected online. Insane load times, insanely short load times, I should say.
like? Yeah.
So we'll see about that, right? And I think graphical fidelity, obviously.
Yeah. Have you guys done any early renders to see what's possible with everything cranked up to 11?
I mean, we dabble
Yeah.
in stuff.
Yeah. It's coming, man. I mean, the announcements are coming soon, right?
Here we go, Oscar Klefbom,
Oh.
my former neighbor's cousin.
Oh, man.
Wired it from the point there.
Jamie Andrews says, how do you get all the voice lines, grunts, and anthems in the game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's great that we have our own recording studio, and so we have this rigorous schedule of having the commentators come in, week in and week out. It's nice that our commentators are based in Vancouver now. So after they do their day job, they can come in the studio and record tons of commentary.
That's great.
But then we also have recording sessions for, that on ice sounds, grunts from the coaches or the players or the crowd. It's nice having all that capability at EA Vancouver in-house.
Did you do everything for the game in Vancouver, or did you guys have some external teams work on stuff?
Pretty much all in Vancouver. But the nice thing is, we also collaborate with our teams at Tiburon.
Yep.
Right. Often our teams get similar ideas or have better solutions to the same problems, and so lots of collab between teams. Not just in Vancouver, but also the other sports teams.
And this is on the Frostbite engine, like a lot of the EAs.
This one is not on Frostbite.
No.
Yeah. It's because. With Frostbite, that's a major migration of our code base, and
Yep.
we want to make sure that if and when we change game engines, we
Yep.
want the experience to always be better and not potentially worse.
Right. And Frostbite wasn't really engineered for hockey when it was starting to
I think
put
it's
together.
engineered for planes and shooting.
Yes.
In tanks.
Yes. Did you do?
But having said that, FIFA and Madden look great on Frostbite.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Has NHL ever been on Frostbite?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Jujhar Khaira, Pride of Surrey.
Come on. Oh yes. There we go. Got a shot on goal.
Shot on goal.
That's about as close as I get right now.
One SOG.
You really need to be able to control all 5 players at once, or have a really clear understanding of where everybody is.
That's kind of the great thing about our online team play is everyone can control, their own position, right?
Yeah.
And just play that position, know your role, and then when you win as a team, it's like there's nothing more thrilling than that.
So you're passing, and before the puck gets to your player, you've already switched out other players, so you're in control,
Yeah.
right? Because this game. Like
Yeah. Also, something we added last year is being able to select a specific player.
Yeah.
Yeah, using the right stick, you can actually press in the direction of the player that you want to take control of, or
Oh, that's
take
cool.
control of the last man back.
It's fantastic. What do you guys think? It looks really good, doesn't it? Does it feel like you're watching a real sport? It's crazy. Yeah, I feel like, you guys must be moving on to next gen now. Like the core A team wouldn't work on PS4.
Might have some people working on that.
Yeah.
It's beyond my pay grade.
But that's what this game feels like. It feels like I've just started to play it, but it feels like the peak. Go! Oh!
Speaking seriously about going forward is, when I say that we don't want to take any steps backward, I really mean that. That, I think some of our fans go, well, what did you actually do this year? You just updated the rosters. But, I cannot say to you hard enough on this broadcast that, our team really busts their butts on, making sure the animations are great, making sure the gameplay is great, the controls are better, right?
Yep.
Vic, you made that comment that you feel like you're always in control.
Yeah.
And that is what we aim for this year. So I'm really glad you pointed that out.
It feels so good when you score. I remembered when I did that ages ago in a different universe, different time. Ah!
Oh, bodies everywhere.
I'm just hacking. Oh! Oh, come on! Oh, you're going easy on me. Go! Oh, get in there! Oh my God, that's awesome.
Zach Cassidy, another former Canuck.
Oh.
We've made all the shots more powerful in NHL 20, so you get a lot more scoring chances. But then also it's tied in with the shot accuracy this year, so
Yeah.
a lot more scoring chances, but you still have to hit the net.
And you can place it in the corners if you need it, if you want it there. Oh my God. I dream of the day Konami puts the Fox engine out for a revival of Blades of Steel. That's from Sam I Am 111. Taz says, "Let the Wookiee win." Shoot low for rebounds. Questions from Waffle Fries. Do you plan on adding advanced stats for future games for us Oilers stats nerds?
Oh yeah, that you're talking about things like Corsi and whatnot. That's something we've looked at, and yeah, we'll see.
Crazy. Are you in the game? Did they model you and put you in?
I'm not in this game.
No.
But I will offer you another bit of trivia.
Yeah.
In NHL Hits 2002, I am the Team Japan goalie.
No way.
Yep.
I'm in one of those NHL games, the NHL Hits games, because we did the video for it. We did.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. Adam Boyes was working with.
Oh,
you.
that's right. Yeah. He went on to do some great things with Sony.
That's right.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
So I'm showing you guys how not to play the game. That's been my lesson today. Come on! Nice.
Oh, coughed it up.
Who's the best at the game on the team?
Oh man, not me. We do have great tournaments
Rammer's
on our
good,
team.
right?
Oh, Rammer's really good.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding to beat him.
Yeah. Do you ever see Dave Littman at all? Does he come down and visit you guys? I know he's busy on other things.
I hear he's around somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bless him. He was in charge of some pretty great titles.
Yes, he was. He was Mr. Hockey for a long time. Look at these hits. Incredible. I got to fire up NHL Hits 2020 for William. Sam I Am 111 is going to do that. Or 2002, I mean. Question, is there a big head mode from Jamie Andrews?
Oh,
Was that directed at me? Were you talking to me?
there isn't a big head mode. We there's a certain line we don't cross. We try to keep things within the realm of reality.
Yep.
Yeah. So big heads they're just a step too far for us right now.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Juraj Kara, second goal. They're going nuts in Surrey right now.
Can we have a power outage, or somebody bring a blindfold to the show? Or yeah, this is why I don't play in chat that much. That is the normal size, yes. Thank you for that, JTVJ. Question, do you miss having competition? Do you feel like you would push harder on game development? It's a great one from Darth Nillick. If there was another hockey game to compete with, do you miss that competition?
Funny, I had a talk with one of our guys just recently about that. I think, we wouldn't be opposed to it. I do miss the days when it was fun kind of anticipating what other people were doing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and just the intrigue of that, and then, the big reveals every year.
Yep.
And, always having that pressure to want to, leapfrog the competition. Having said that, we love that all the hockey fans come to us. But there's no shortage of pressure that our fans put on us, right? I mentioned that we listen to our fans, and that is 100% the truth.
Yeah, I guess the expectation when you're the only game in town is to be amazing, right? Oh my God.
That's a hat trick.
This is just
for the pride of Surrey, Juraj Kara.
Okay, Will, you win. Actually, I think that's good. We have more show to get to, but this game is phenomenal and super fun, and even though I'm terrible at it,
thanks so much.
it is so cool that you came and
whooped
my butt. But, honestly, if I had even scored one goal on a guy that made the game, it wouldn't have looked good. So I held back.
You're such a pal.